will now begin the third seminar titled EUREKA Cluster. The first presentation will be delivered by EUREKA Cluster.
Good morning and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for giving the opportunity to talk at the EurekaDay 2020. I have the pleasure to present the EUREKA clusters and more precisely innovating with the new ECP program, which is the EUREKA Cluster program that has been set up and is still being set up today. What is a EUREKA cluster? A EUREKA cluster is a perfect tool to collaborate on the international and industry-driven R&D projects that covers the whole value chain. EUREKA clusters are thematic programs driven by communities of companies, small and medium enterprises, universities, research institutes, and of course, the end users. To national funding and to work alongside industry players close to the market projects that meet your innovation objectives. This is what is EUREKA and the EUREKA cluster about. There are currently 6 EUREKA clusters: Itr on software innovation, Smart on advanced manufacturing, Eurogia on low carbon energy technologies, Celtic-Next on ICT and telecommunication, Penta on micro and nano electronics enabled systems and applications, Euripides on smart electronic systems. Cluster offered to industries, to small and medium enterprises, and to research organizations a certain number of advantages. You have the opportunity for funding of transnational R&D and I consortium in a fast, efficient way within a global network. Projects are initiated by industry in line with national priorities, and the process is agile and flexible. And during the project life, there is support of the project. A community of best companies and knowledge institutes are aiming at economic impact via research and innovation. There are good options to integrate along with the whole value chain involving end users, labs, startups, SMEs, and large companies. Coaching and support of experts with an industrial viewpoint, and this allows to ensure project having a high relevance and a high quality. Cluster key figures. Since 2014, the total public and private investment clusters has been 1.5 billion euros. The average project cost is 6.75 million euros. And since 2014, 119 projects have been funded. The number of yearly participants in the cluster program is 443 participants. EUREKA Cluster AI call in 2020. This was the first intercluster call where 5 clusters have participated. That was carried out this year. The subject of this call was artificial intelligence, and it was to meet the public authorities and the industry priorities. We received over 40 proposals, from which at the moment 16 projects have been labeled. Unique tool gathering PAs and technical experts evaluation has been used for the evaluation of these projects. All clusters have been using this system. A new evaluation process together with the PAs has been carried out. There have been two meetings, the pre-consensus meeting and the consensus meeting, that where the decisions for labeling or not labeling have been taken. This new process should speed up funding decisions in the different countries and time to project. The aim of this new ECP is to revitalize the industrial research in the EUREKA clusters. It should allow to create new clusters to be open for new themes. The new cluster guidelines have been developed already and are currently being implemented. This should result in a strengthened governance model, and it should allow to have more and better projects. The multi-annual program and the joint calls are currently being programmed for the coming years. This is the new ECP governance structure. You have the cluster committee where you have the industry and the cluster representatives, and you have the public authority committee where you have the deciders from the funding agencies. There is a central coordinating function who is making sure that the information flow is going where it has to go. And you have cluster A, cluster B, cluster C. And together we are working out the multi-annual plan where the annual operating plan is part of. And once this has been elaborated, it will be the EUREKA HLR, the high-level group, deciding on this program. Single cluster calls and joint calls will be the result out of this. During October, we had the first meeting of these clusters and public authorities committees. It was on the 15th of October. We kicked off. The support of clusters in general should be increased, and the new models kick off. The public authorities will find bottom-up as important as new cross-cluster activities that will also hopefully attract new partners. Industry acknowledges the need to break the silos and to think more, start more to think in systems. Finding the right balance between bottom-up and thematic call will be very important. The bottom-up calls are more industry-driven, where the countries put budget on the table for these calls. The thematic calls are calls that have been decided because it has a high thematical priority for the public authorities and for industry. Some current hot topic for industry and public authorities. AI still is an important topic, and there is a potential for a new call in 2021. To deal, there is actually an idea coming up for technical green trend call that should be launched in the first half of 2021. At least 10 countries are interested for this on this topic, including South Korea. Other subjects are cybersecurity, beyond 5 and 6G, and certainly others. Thank you for listening to this cluster introduction. Now each of the clusters will present their own view of the situations. Thank you very much, and I hope you will enjoy a very interesting day. Thank you.
This presentation will be delivered by Celtic-Next.
So now I have, my name is Peter Hermann. I'm the Celtic Office Director. I have now the pleasure to present the Celtic-Next Cluster. The Celtic-Next Cluster is a flexible industry-driven program for innovations in communications technologies and its applications. What is Celtic-Next? Celtic-Next has already more than 1,000 private and public organizations. Among these large industry players, small and medium-sized enterprises, academics, and research institutions. Celtic is open to any organization willing to contribute to industry-driven ICT research and innovation in collaborative projects. We organize several calls per year, now including also joint and thematic calls. 2020, we have had one call with 5 clusters and 2 calls with 2 clusters. Projects are financed through public and private funds. On the right side here, you see this round where key technologies and key capabilities are shown. Benefits of Celtic are that our calls are bottom-up. The proposals are free to define their project proposals according to their own research interest and research need. Our projects are close to the market, and so far the project have led to more than 1,050 new or improved products. The success rate of Celtic project is quite good, especially compared to European framework programs. The chance to receive fundings have an average success rate of above 50%. Flexibility is really a very important characteristic of the Celtic clusters. The project focus can be adjusted to new technological development in the fields, even when the project is already running. There is a simple change request mechanism for this. On this table, you see our key numbers, new and improved products, 1,500, numbers of directly generated patents, 650, prototypes and field trials, 1,340, contributions to standards, 2,140, journal publication, conference publication, 4,600, PhD and master thesis, almost 1,500. On this slide, you see the overall organization of Celtic. You see the 18 Celtic-Next core group companies, where we have operators like British Telecom, Orange, Deutsche Telekom, and we have also system suppliers like Nokia, like Ericsson. And we have other companies that are active in Celtic. Our chairperson is Valerie Blavet from Orange, and we have 2 vice chairs, Yari Lemusuri from Nokia and Risa Durukasugi from Netas. I'm the Celtic Office Director, Peter Hermann, and in the Celtic office we have a number of supporting activities of administration, technical IT, program support team, PR and marketing team, and financing and support team. The whole Celtic structure is controlled by the national authorities and, of course, by the 18 Celtic-Next core group members. The Celtic-Next end-to-end perspective does include verticals. The evolution of ITC services will be achieved via a partnership model where the vertical sectors collaborate in determining their ICT solutions. Thus, Celtic-Next will put emphasis on core technologies, on applications and services serving vertical sectors. These are content, video gaming, e-health, smart industry and manufacturing, smart agriculture, smart energy, smart mobility, including connected cars, smart cities, e-commerce, fintech. Our technology roadmap, you find it, of course, on our website. It is called Celtic-Next Scope and Research Area. There are 5 main topics: networking, services, application, future service enablers, future internet and clouds, future usage areas, and multidisciplinary approach. Each of these 5 main topics are broken down in subtopics that you find an example here on the left side. Current trends are serving more the vertical sectors with 5G and beyond technologies, meeting the needs of the citizen, for example, mobility, privacy, and security. On the right side, this is a booklet on scope and research areas. We are very proud that Celtic has an important impact in technology and in business. One way to measure this is the awards that we have been received. In 2019, we have been receiving 3 Eureka Awards. As the Sigmona project was elected as the Global Project of the Year 2019. It was on innovative software-defined networks, SDN concept, in generalizing the mobile network architectures, which has contributed to the development of 5G networks. And then there have been 2 projects elected under the Netherlands chair. One project has developed camera for the FIFA World Cup 2018. It was a Fort Reproses project, and it has developed these wireless TV cameras that you saw flying over the football field. A key point for this success was high-resolution data transmission. And then we have the e-health project E3. This allows immersive telemedicine, and it allows to bring ubiquitous health services also to rural areas. We have also very big projects. These are called flagship projects. The 2 last ones are CESAR and Send8. CESAR was an 80 million project with 60 partners, and it was on secure communications for Europe. There have been 2 spin-ups, Skylab from France and Ecenic from UK. And in total, the project has developed 27 new and 28 improved products. It has also realized record data transmission of 38.5 terabit per second. You need to know for this that the American Library of Congress, which is the world biggest, would have been transmitted in 3 seconds. And the latest flagship project is a 70 million project that has ended in 2019. It was on secure networking for a data center cloud in Europe. And it has shown the world first 100 gigabit second quantum safe transport over 2,800 kilometers. And it has also shown the world first 400 giga link with a single photodiode for DC interconnect. Edge computing shifts the traffic load away from the core data center, and data are processed closer to the user. This is key to allow low latency applications, for example, that are, for example, needed for autonomous driving. New opportunities. So Celtic-Next, we are currently having, of course, new projects. There are 14 projects in the setup, waiting for the funding decisions. 18 projects are currently running, and 135 projects have already been finished. In 2020, we have had 3 calls. The first one was in spring. It was a joint Celtic-Eurogia call that ended on the 30th of March. We had the AI EUREKA Cluster call that ended on the 15th of June, and since the project have been labeled. And we have the joint Celtic-Eurogia call in that ended on the 19th of October. We are very proud that we can offer also global research projects in Europe, Canada, South Africa, South Korea, and now also in Singapore. One of our possibilities that we offer is the online consortium building. We are following the open innovation approach, where the new project ideas are available directly on the Celtic web. Celtic organizes yearly events and a number of proposals day with online consortium building session. And you can find a summary of this here on this link. The Celtic label decision of Celtic projects. Well, Celtic projects are one-stage projects. So when you have been submitting your proposal, for example, for the deadline of the 19th October, 6 months later, you will know if your project is labeled or not. The label decision is taken in a common meeting of the public authorities and the Celtic core group, and technical experts from industries have been done before their industrial evaluation of the project. Technical qualities and business relevance are main criteria for these evaluations, but national priorities can also be a criterion for this. On this slide, you see the activity of countries in Celtic, in number of projects, and as we are at the Eureka Korea Day, you find here the activity of Korea in Celtic so far in number of projects, and on the next slide you see it in effort in person years. Benefits of Celtic. Key figures. We had on this call, on this proposals day on the 15th and 16th of September, we had more than 200 registered participants. We had a keynote presentation about cybersecurity challenges by Mr. Lehmann from Deutsche Telekom. We had the presentations of the funding scheme from 11 countries. 11 public authorities presented their funding opportunities in their countries. We had 15 new project ideas that were pitched and that are hopefully now evolving towards projects. And it gave also insight on business impact. There were 2 lively panels, one about successful SMEs and the other one on successful startup companies that came out of Celtic and Eurogia projects. The involvement from South Korea on this proposals day was also quite important. we had 6 participants from South Korea, and 3 of them presented a project pitch. This means that 3 from 15 project pitches were from South Korea. And Kiat, of course, presented the Korean funding rules. The next Celtic call will close on the 12th of April 2021. And you find this banner on our web. And when you are clicking on this banner, you will find all information on this call. Proposal submission. Yes, this is the interface that you will find when you are going to our online tool where you can submit your proposal. So you will see that you can go on this tool and you can upload your CPP. You will of course search the template on the Celtic web, and then you can upload the CPP. You choose the call where you will be submitting your proposal, and you can also choose the cluster where you will be submitting to. So you fill in this quite short web form, and then you upload all the documents, the CPP and other relevant documents, and then you press the submit button, and then you have already submitted your project proposal, and that will then be evaluated by the Celtic industry experts and the public authorities and so on. 6 weeks later, you will have the result if you have the label or not. Here is our contact information. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.
The next presentation will be delivered by ITEA3.
Welcome to this session about the EUREKA Cluster ITEA. My name is Jan Jonker. I am Office Director for ITEA, and I would like to thank the organization for giving me the opportunity to present ITEA as the cluster that is dedicated to software innovation and the digital transition. The next slide shows you the European or pan-European innovation landscapes in terms of innovation programs and stimulating measures and instruments. You can see on the European level these programs are aiming to follow the European innovation strategies, whereas on the national level most instruments have a differentiated character, aiming to stimulate innovation in a broad sense. In addition to this, EUREKA is directed at transnational cooperation based on the national priorities of participating countries. So each country can search for cooperation partners with similar or complementary priority areas. Within EUREKA, we see several instruments that are designed to facilitate and support this transnational cooperation. Among others, the Clusters program, in which currently 6 clusters participate. I'm not going to explain you about all of the EUREKA programs and the different clusters participating, as I expect other presenters will also give you information on this. Important is that the EUREKA clusters are based on a set of characteristics. They are industry-driven and supported by public authorities, meaning the formation of the clusters, its content and community members is led by industry, but the clusters flourish by public and private cooperation. This means that cluster projects are generally the result of co-financing by public and private parties. Secondly, the participants of the clusters and the cluster projects are covering the full value chain to create innovations that offer integrated solutions to potential customers and market parties. This also shows that the clusters and our partners are very much market-oriented. The clusters aim to stimulate cooperation between large industries and small and medium enterprises. This creates the opportunity to scale up in consortia with large industry and get quicker access to their markets and networks. The EUREKA clusters originated from European cooperation, but they welcome partners from all over the world which is illustrated by the participating countries and partners. A very basic aspect of the clusters is their bottom-up approach, by which ideas and solutions invented and brought by industry can lead to promising projects. The topic of ITEA is software that is used in different kinds of industries and application domains. ITEA stimulates transnational and industry-driven research and development for software innovation and the digital transition. ITEA enables a large international community to collaborate in funded projects that turn innovative ideas into new businesses, jobs, economic growth, and other benefits for society. For example, health or safety in smart cities. The main features of ITEA are that it's a global and trusted cooperation in an industrial and very tight community. The project funding takes place via national, public, as well as private funding. Very important is also the commercialization of the research results. The research done in the project really has the aim to finally be used in market applications. And last but not least, ITEA knows a very strong focus on high quality processes and support for the projects. Regarding societal impact, ITEA has chosen a set of challenges on which it wants to contribute via the results of the projects. These challenges are smart cities, smart communities, smart health, smart mobility, smart industry, and safety and security. ITEA projects offer a wide range of solutions to support these challenges. Besides, ITEA also organizes different activities and events that enhance the application and the use of project solutions by customers. For example, the customer workshops in which customers and end users are connected with technology providers in the area of a specific challenge. But we also participate in specific external events such as the Smart Cities Expo and World Congress in Barcelona. The next slide gives an overview of the ITEA board members, which, as you can see, forms a broad representation of different nationalities and industrial sectors and areas. Let me show you some overall facts and figures. Until now, ITEA has delivered totally 265 projects, which result in more than 28,000 person-years of employment. ITEA is currently running its first 7-year program. And as you can see, there is an increase of participating project partners every program period so far, with almost 1,000 partners for the still running program ITEA 3, of which more than half of the participants are SMEs. If we zoom in on Korea, the following figure illustrates the Korean participation. In total, we have seen 47 Korean partners, of which 28 are unique participants in 25 ITEA projects, resulting in a total investment of 28 million euros and an employment of more than 400 person-years. As can be seen, Korean project partners are active within all the application domains that ITEA is focusing on, while there is a remarkable overrepresentation of Korean organizations in smart health projects. Next, I will introduce you into the world of the ITEA call process, how you can participate in an ITEA project, and what are the different steps you have to go through between consortium building and getting your project eventually funded. This process is supported by ITEA from beginning until the end. As first step, we organize our so-called PO days, during which project ideas are presented and matchmaking and partner search for these projects can take place. The PO days lead to the formation of consortia that get the opportunity to prepare the submission of a project outline within approximately 2 months. The project outline can be considered as a rough outline of a project plan in which the goal, the partners, the specific innovation, and the impact are described. But the complete elaboration still has to be done. After positive evaluation of the project outline, the consortium can continue preparing a full project proposal, consisting of a complete project plan with description of management, budget, and execution in work packages. Positive evaluation of a full project proposal leads eventually to labeling by the Itr board. A project that is labeled still needs to acquire financial means before it can really start. For this, the project partners can apply financial support from their national governments. After approval, the project can actually start. The next slide gives a more detailed overview of the different steps required to start an Itr project. Added to the former slide, you can see that the evaluation for both submission steps is done by industrial as well as by public representatives. Besides the process of project development and submission, Itr is an organization that organizes a wide range of network activities or events to maintain and strengthen the community and ecosystems for software innovation. First of all, of course, we organize our yearly PO days each year in September, with more than 300 participants coming from more than 15 countries. So every year we see approximately 70 IDs that are uploaded in our project ID tool, 50 or more project IDs that are presented as a poster, and more than 40 IDs are pitched. Generally, 75% of the submitted POs are initially presented at past PO preparation days. You can see some quotes by participants which show that they experience our PO days as a very efficient way to find European or other partners for any research program. And it is considered as a mix between speed dating and a hackathon at the same time, resulting in very original ideas. Itr is also a participant in customer-oriented thematic external events. Customer orientation is a major ambition for Itr, and this will remain so in our future program. Itr will in the future be present at a set of topical customer-oriented events, for example, within the area of smart cities. They offer an opportunity where projects can present their results to potential customers on the one hand, and on the other hand, customers can discover the latest trends and solutions in their domain. This participation in external events includes being present with a large Itr booth and a set of projects. Furthermore, we organize innovation discoveries in which we show participants of the event the different innovations that have been developed within the Itr projects that are participating in the event. And sometimes we also are active in side events where we have speakers or panelists in the program, and we are active on organizing B2B meetings. First two examples in which Itr has been participating are the Smart City Expo and World Congress in Barcelona and the Cybersecurity and Cloud Expo. But we aim to be present at more events for every challenge in which Itr is operating. Since several years, Itr is organizing international customer workshops on dedicated topics. Approximately 50 participants are invited that consist of, on the one hand, international key customers and end users facing specific challenges, and on the other hand, European, global industry and SMEs that provide technology and innovative solutions. These groups are brought together in interactive sessions, presentations, and lots of network opportunities. At this moment, Itr is preparing webinars as our newest community event. The aim is to bring together customers and topic-relevant project partners to share and discuss all kinds of relevant content, for example, case studies, new tools, innovative strategies to overcome challenges in this specific domain. The overall goals are to strengthen project outlines towards full project proposals and to steer project outlines towards the expectations of customers. And last, dissemination of recently completed and running project results. The first 2 webinars that we will organize will be on the topics Smart City and Cybersecurity. On 7 December, we will organize a ITEA Smart City Day, and on 15 January 21, we will organize the ITEA Cybersecurity Day. Before we move to some concrete project examples of ITEA in which Korean partners are or have been active, I would like to show you the ITEA Impact Stream. The Impact Stream is a living publication that consists of 2 main elements. First of all, the 7 main societal challenges on which ITEA projects are directed. And secondly, a set of one-sheet project stories in a wide range of application domains, showing the impact highlights of ITEA project. It is digitally accessible and can be personalized per country, per challenge, organization type, etc. Have a look at our website where you can compile your own impact stream. Okay, now it's time for some concrete projects. I'm very happy to introduce Dr. Yoon and Professor Sun Woo to you. They participated in the successful ITEA projects and they will share their experience on participating in ITEA with you.
Bonjour, my name is Myung-ho Sun-woo. I'm a professor of Hanyang University in Seoul, Korea. I was the project leader of Dangun during 2016 through 2019. For this project, 5 organizations from Korea participated, such as LG Electronics, Renault Samsung Motors, Korean Automotive Research Institute, ControlWorks, and Hanyang University. And also, 3 organizations from France were Renault, Valeo, and Anstar. At the beginning of the project, Renault Corporation recommends ITEA programs. Regarding the Dangun project, since the project was my first experience to work with a European organization, I need many support from an expert like ITEA for mentoring the project, such as how to prepare the project report and review. ITEA provides good information and introduces an expert to prepare the project report and review process. It was a very special experience with ITEA. During the annual report and review process, most reviewers are from industry experts from the variety of fields such as IT, communication, software, and also auto part suppliers. They asked very technical questions and also gave us a lot of comments and advices for the project. These kind of support helped us accomplish the project successfully. It was a good experience for me to work with French companies and a university. Furthermore, it was a good opportunity to introduce Korean community, especially companies and research institutes, to European community. I would say that if more Korean organizations involve this kind of global collaboration work through ITEA, I'm very much sure that we can use this platform for expanding their business to European market effectively. Merci.
Hello, my name is Desop Yoon. I'm currently working in Electronics and Telecommunication Research Institute in Korea. The ETRI is government-funded research institute on ICT areas. I have been doing research on ICT area more than 15 years. Our mission is making human life better with the help of ICT technologies. However, I found out there is a gap between research stage, which is developing technology to solve specific issues, and exploitation stage, which provides services or products to the people. I think the Itr program will be perfect bridge between technology provider and technology consumers, because Itr program is focused on not only technology development, but also services to the people. Through Itr project, I have an opportunity to learn how to other international partners to process research to solve a problem and which areas they are interested in. I can discuss research issues with my international partners every week, which makes me feel that we are in the same boat and trying to solve specific problem globally together. We can share our research issues from each country and solve the issues with partners from all over the world. Before I joined the Itr project, the common channel is only to discuss research issues is publication or attending international conferences. This way requires some time, but through Itr project, I can collaborate with international partners almost in real time. My key aspect is to solve societal problems by developing ICT technologies, especially on smart mobility or smart city. I believe the Korea-Yure카데이 help companies, universities, research institutes in Korea start international collaboration with European partners. Enjoy the Korea-Yure카데이 for better futures. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Yoon and Professor Sunwoo, for these excellent presentations. There are several more examples of ITEA projects in which Korean organizations participate. But at this moment, I will not go into further details. If you want to have more information on them, please visit our website www.itr3.org. For now, I would like to thank you very much for participating in this session. And if you want to know more about ITEA, you can contact us at the B2B matchmaking later today, or of course via our website and our contact details. Thank you once again and have a very fruitful day.
The next presentation is by SMART.
Jom Achim. Good morning. This is Joseba Bilbatua. I am the Smart Cluster Director. I am very happy and very pleased to be here at the Korea-Yure카데이 presenting our Smart Cluster on advanced manufacturing. So first of all, let's comment which are the main characteristics of the Eureka project. As you know, this project has to be market-oriented. Also, they have to introduce and to bring some innovative products, process, or services. The project must be bottom-up. That means that the companies have to promote, define, and bring the project ideas. And these projects are also oriented to promote collaboration among the Eureka community, the Eureka countries. Within the Eureka instruments, we have several different kinds of instruments, and among them, we have the Eureka Cluster projects. So nowadays, we have 7 Eureka clusters active or running in the Eureka community, and the Smart Advanced Manufacturing Cluster is the newest one. We were labeled on 2018, and since then, we have launched 3 calls for projects. So now let's focus on what's SMART about. Our mission is just to boost the competitiveness, the growth, and the attractiveness of the discrete manufacturing companies worldwide, or mainly in those Eureka countries. How do we contribute to the competitiveness of the companies? Through our launch of call for projects, our research and development projects, in which different kind of entities can participate. Big industries, small, medium enterprises, research centers, or universities. All of them are invited to participate in our Smart Cluster projects. Nowadays, we have a board that is in charge of leading the Smart Cluster. The chair of this board is made by Mondragon Corporation, and the vice chair is made by Airbus Aerospace Company, and we have several other representatives from the Smart community. Unfortunately, we don't have yet any Korean partner, but we will be more than pleased to have also a Korean company in our board member. So any of you interested to become members of the Smart Cluster, please feel free to contact us. Okay, this is the list of countries that are supporting nowadays Smart Eureka Cluster. We have a total of 23 countries from the Eureka community. Among them, we have South Korea, of course, but we have some other very interesting and powerful countries in manufacturing. We have Germany, we have Canada, we have Austria, Spain, Turkey, United Kingdom, Sweden, okay, and many others. So this is the list of countries with which you can collaborate and you can create your international consortia to present your projects to SMART. So now, which are the technical domains that we are covering in SMART? Nowadays, we have defined our agenda covering these 6 technical domains, from advanced manufacturing process to the value chain. I will go through them, explaining a little bit what's in each one of them. So in the area of advanced manufacturing processes, we include here those processes for transforming raw material into final components. And here we would like to include all the kind of manufacturing process, additive manufacturing, but subtractive manufacturing as well. And some other non-conventional processes like laser machining, chemical machining, and any other kind of advanced manufacturing processes. The second technical domain is the intelligent and adaptive manufacturing systems. Here we include the machine tools, capital goods, but also robots, fixturing, measurement systems, all those machines or equipment that we could use for manufacturing process. So these are also included in this domain. The third domain is on digital, virtual, and efficient companies. You probably know about the Industry 4.0 technologies. So we would like to include here in this domain all those information-related technologies. For example, big data, virtual reality, augmented reality, but also you can include cybersecurity applied to manufacturing or any other use of information for manufacturing processes, like for example, digital twins or this kind of new approaches. So this is the third domain. For the fourth domain, we have the person-machine collaboration. And here we could include the human-machine interfaces, but also we can include here all those technologies oriented to make more inclusive working environments. For example, making manufacturing more attractive for the young people, or how to improve skills and the ability of the workers. In the fifth domain, we have the sustainable manufacturing. And here we include all those technologies that could reduce the energy and raw material consumption. But also we would like to have here the technologies for reusing, remanufacturing, or reintroducing materials into the value chain. And finally, this is the sixth technical domain. We called it customer-based manufacturing. And here we would like to include all those relationships that could come from the different stakeholders of the value chain, from the raw material provider up to the technology supplier and the final end user. So we would like to include all of them in this domain. So these are the 6 technical domains, as you see, quite transversal domains, and you can present your projects to a SMART call aligned with these technical domains. So now, let me to present you the call for projects that we have launched in September 2020 and that will be open till March 2021. So in this call for projects, these are the eligibility criteria that all the projects has to fulfill. First, you need that your consortium has to have at least 2 industrial companies from 2 different Eureka participating countries. Second, the project has to be innovative and has to be market oriented, close to the exploitation activities. That's important. In the third, the project has to have civil purposes. I mean, not military projects are allowed. And finally, the budget among the different partners in the consortium has to be somehow balanced. All the countries and all the participants in the project have to have a relevant budget, a relevant participation in the project. In a smart cluster, we are following 2 stages. The first stage is the project outline. Here you have to present the project idea, 10, 12 pages, no more, and you have to present the overview of the project. And after presenting the project outline, these project outline proposals are evaluated, and we provide our recommendations how the project can become more successful. After the project outline, it comes the full project proposal. This is the important deadline, the full project proposal. Here, the consortia have to present a complete proposal, a complete document with all the implementation, all the impact, all the technologies and the activities that will be set up or they will be gathered in the proposal. So it's important to prepare a good full project proposal. This is the point. Usually, typical smart projects have between 4 to 6 million euros, but we have also less budget in the projects. The consortia has from 6 to 8 participants, but we can have more participants or less participants with the presence of from 2 to 4 countries and lasting 2 or 3 years. Of course, these are mean figures, but we can have some other amounts. I mean, we can have less budget or more participants. Okay, this is just for your information about the mean figures of our projects. In the 4th call, this is the deadline and the calendar for our 4th call. The first stage, the project outline, is closing the 14th of December. As you know, as I have said here, we will request a very short document with the project idea, no more. And the important deadline is the 24th of March next year, 2021, because this is the deadline for the full project proposal. And this is the important one, okay? By the 17th of May, we will have all the projects evaluated and we will be able to provide a smart label to these projects that have been considered good projects. So finally, this is my last slide. SMART offers the opportunity to collaborate among different countries in the area of advanced manufacturing technologies. So here you will find different large companies, small, medium enterprises, research centers, universities. I mean, SMART is open to all kind of participants. So from the Smart Cluster Office, we would like to just to give you this opportunity and just to ask you to participate, to involve actively, and to contact the Smart Office for anything you could need from us. So that was all from my side. Thank you very much for your attention. Dani Gamsapnida, Jum Achim. Goodbye.
The next presentation is by Eurogia 2020.
Hi everyone, this is Sinem. I am the General Manager of Eurogia Cluster. I would like to share about the information about our cluster today. Eurogia is a EUREKA cluster which is dedicated to low carbon energy technologies. We are working on the energy era. The cluster includes the full energy mix and value chain, renewables, energy efficiency, carbon capture and storage. We promote the facilitates partnerships between SMEs, between universities, between research centers and large industry companies. We have been established in 2004, then we have been labeled to 2008, and then we have a label till the end of 2013. Now we have a label till the end of 2021. If you look to the technology domains on the behalf of Eurogia, we can talk about energy efficiency, energy storage, intelligent networks, and energy management. Also, we included ICT in our project. This is very important and valuable for the project submissions. The process on the behalf of Eurogia is very fast and interactive. When you submit your process, the submission of the process, the project is evaluated by the technical committee on the behalf of Eurogia. We have two-step process, which is the first PO and the second is FPP. PO means proposal, FPP means full project proposal. After the evaluation of the project by the technical committee on the behalf of Eurogia, the project proposal takes approval or rejection. After having your approval from the TC, means technical committee, then you apply for the FPP, full project proposal. After having your full project proposal approval from the cluster side, you apply for the funding to your public authority. This is very important. When we look to the funding success about the Eurogia projects, it's nearly 80 for the labeled projects. And please be trust to cluster that there is no competition between the similar projects. This is very important. When we look to the winning projects equation, of course, the innovation is very important. And of course, you will write the state of the art. After the state of the art, you have to mention about your innovation in the R&D project. Consortium is very important. It has to be balanced. The organization types like large industry, SMEs, research centers or universities, you have to mention about the consortium structure very well. And of course, the competences and you have to sign the consortium agreement. The commercial exploitation is a very important item on the behalf of the projects. Of course, the national priorities and practice are very important for the cluster projects because the funding side is coming from the public authorities. When we look to the Eurogia 2020 strategy scope, we can summarize it in three big topics: decarbonization, decentralization and digitalization, deregulation and democratization. Under the decarbonization, we can talk about renewable energy resources, electric vehicles, green and zero emission buildings, and H2 technologies and storage. Under decentralization and digitalizations, we can talk about microgrids, smart grids. Of course, ICT is a very hot topic. IoT and IT and OT cybersecurity. Nowadays, under cybersecurity, we can talk about blockchain technologies, of course. And under the regulation and democratization, we talk blockchain technologies, flexibility management, virtual power plants, network stability, demand side management is very important for the energy companies. We know it very well. If you look to the key figures, we can see that 45 of the participants are SMEs. This network, this community is willing to support SMEs a lot. That's why 25 of the percentage of the participants are SMEs in our project consortiums. I want to mention about some examples of the successful projects to you. The first example is Energy Shared Project. It's a Turkish and Canadian partnership. There are two countries in the consortium, Turkey and Canada. Under Turkish consortium, there are 4 companies. Paycor and Ödeş and EPH are the large industry companies, and Rengen is the SME. Also, Green Power Lab is a Canadian company, which is in the consortium also. Energy project aims to develop a renewable energy management, including the ICT platform with distributed platform components. The main components of the target platform are cloud center, smart box, mobile application, and development SDK. You can view the big picture of the project. It is very important. The PV panels on the home side, and there will be a smart box. Of course, the management is in the cloud side. There will be a mobile SDK, so the ICT technology is in the project. And on the Canadian side, there's a prediction company, which is Green Power Lab. The other example is coming from also Turkish and Germany consortium. There are two countries in the consortium, which is Turkey and Germany. Game for Scene project. The aim of the Game for Scene project is to develop an innovative ICT platform, adapting gamification technologies and techniques to the end users to change their behaviors while using the energy efficiency. This is very important, and the commercialization is very important in this project. That's why the both public authority is willing to fund this project a lot. And the third example is Solar Pact project. The goal of the Solar Pact project is developing and demonstrating advanced algorithms and software applications. Renewable energy management will be transferred, and it's very important to use solar roofs, of course. Brussels, Belgium, and Turkey are two countries in the consortium, and there are 3 companies in the consortium. Yes, when we look to the supporting countries on behalf of Eurogia, we can see the European Union countries, also associating partners, and also EUREKA member countries, as you see in the list. On the behalf of Eurogia, we have a cluster structure. It's similar with the others. The first is the director of boards. The second is office management, and the third one is the technical committee. We have board members companies from all European countries, from Spain, from Turkey, from Chile, leading from Spain, Brevetas from France, Arketi Enerji, Paycor, EPH, and Enerjisa are from Turkey, and Merek is from Chile. All the decisions are taken on the behalf of board, so it's very important. The management is executed by the board. And there is an office management on the behalf of Eurogia. We are reporting to the board members, of course, and there's a technical committee which are evaluating the projects and having the labels to the projects. TC members are coming from the large industry companies and also from the university side. This is all from Eurogia. I hope there will be a lot of proposals on the behalf of Korean partners. It's very nice to have a presentation with you today. I would like to thank you to have a chance to present my cluster today in the EUREKA Thank you for listening.
The next presentation is by Penta Euripides 2.
Hello, my name is Peter Connick, and I'm responsible for the Penta program.
And my name is Rémi Renaudin, and I manage the Euripides Cluster. We are delighted to have been invited to the Korea Day and have the opportunity to provide you information on the 2021 joint Euripides and Penta call. Euripides and Penta have been working closely together for the last 3 years, and Peter will provide you now further details on how the call will be managed and how you can participate.
My name is Peter Connick, and I'm responsible for the Penta program. I'm delighted to be here with my colleague Rémi Renaudin from Euripides to give you some information on the 2021 Euripides Penta joint call. This call is actually launched this week, with the project outline due for submission on the 26th of February next year, followed by the full project proposal on the 28th of May. Who is this for? Basically, any mixture of large enterprise, SME, research and technology organization, and academic institutions such as a university who are involved in enabling the digital economy. We all know how important that is and how essential it is that we continue to innovate in this area. And so the task of Euripides and Penta is to work with our community, the electronic components and systems community, to stimulate collaborative projects that will create innovation, high levels of impact and growth for all of those involved, including, of course, the countries who choose to fund these programs. We do this by working with you to form ecosystems along the electronic components and systems value chain. Many of you will be familiar with what EUREKA clusters are, but just in case they're new to you, they're essentially partnerships between industry and public authorities, whereby industry-led projects can be given funding by public authorities that result in high levels of societal and economic impact to mutual benefit. Euripides and Penta are two independent EUREKA clusters, but we've decided to work together. This is the third year that we've been working together, and we do it because basically we both support the electronic components and systems community, and we're complementary. Penta focuses on micro and nano electronics enabled systems and applications, whereas Euripides focuses on packaging and integration of micro devices and smart electronic systems. The idea is that there is technology push and application pull, and by forming a consortia, you can bring together all the necessary components that can develop new capabilities, new technologies that can be converted and exploited into new applications. What is a typical Euripides and Penta project? Well, can be between 4 and 30 participants, with between 2 and 4 countries involved. Of course, all the projects are within the electronic components and systems value chain, but that's a pretty broad area. And project sizes are between 2 and 30 million, though they can be larger, with a duration of normally 3 years. These are merely guidelines. If you've got a project that falls outside these suggestions, that doesn't mean you're not eligible. You just need to talk to us and make sure that we are a good match for your plans. You should be aware that in 2021, we have a new focus on sustainability. Sustainability and climate change are obviously crucial to all of us. And so we feel it right and appropriate to make sure that each of our projects shows how it will contribute towards addressing those challenges. There are many, many project areas that we serve. I'm not going to go through all of these, but you can see that we run from healthcare to MEMS devices to artificial intelligence to smart farming, an extraordinary range of applications. And so if you're in the electronic components and systems community, I'm sure there's an area, an application that can match your plans. It's important that when you form a project, you can do so with partners from wherever you can get the best capability. And so we have tried to partner with as many countries as possible between us in Euripides and Penta. Here you can see some 24 who we're engaged with, though of course the entire Eureka network can engage with a Penta and Euripides project. It's just important that you quickly find out if your national funding authority is willing to engage with us. South Korea obviously is, but as you look for partners, it's important that they too also ensure that they have the same support from their national authority. We've been working together for some time, and this just gives you a little bit of information about our success. We have around 19 funding countries supporting projects with over 300 million euros of project costs in 41 active projects at this moment. We have high engagement with our research community and with our SME community. These actually indicate numbers of that are related to the funding received by those sectors. Obviously, if you count the number of partners involved, it's much higher. Here's the overall call. We are in the project idea generation and consortium building phase as we build up towards the project outline submission deadline of the 26th of February. There will be a brokerage event in mid-January, which I'll talk about later, and we'll give you an opportunity to meet potential partners. A successful application needs to be thought through very carefully. The project outline is a relatively short document and therefore must be very precise and well summarized. First of all, it must start with a clear problem statement. We need to know what you intend to do, why you intend to do it. It should not be generic. It should be a specific problem that you're looking to solve. It must also show how you're going to extend the state of the art. We're looking for innovation. We're looking for moving the boundaries. And so look at where the state of the art is today and show how you will be moving that to a new position after the success of your project. All your partners must have a value to the project. And so it must be explained clearly in your proposal how the partners complement each other and build a value chain that can be successful in the completion of the project and subsequent exploitation of the results of the project. And so this leads to commercial and indeed societal impact. Who's going to do that and how will it be done? It's absolutely essential, of course, if you're going to receive public funding, that your project application meets national criteria. Each country has different eligibility criteria, and so the project must address all the countries who are engaged in the program. You must contact, all your partners must contact their respective national funding bodies to be clear on what is required here. And of course, public funds will only be given if there's a return on investment. And so countries will be keen to see how they will get economic or societal impact from the project. I've mentioned green issues and their importance. And finally, we're not looking for an engineering project here. We're looking for ambition. We're looking for a new opportunity. So your proposal should be really unique, but it must also be achievable. So ambition, but achievability are a clear element of each project outline. We provide some tools to help you look at some of the challenges that you may need to address in your projects. One of these is the Electronic Components and Systems, ECS, Strategic Research Agenda. This is a very, very large activity, stimulated, catalyzed by 3 European industrial associations, ANEAS, Artemisia and EPOS, and created by over 250 experts in their field. By working together, they have described 5 key application areas and 5 key essential capabilities, identifying challenges that need to be addressed if we are to progress and move forward our digital future. This document, which is open to all, is the basic document for multiple funding programs, including within Eureka, Penta and Euripides. Here you see the 10 chapters of the document split into the 5 essential capabilities. and the 5 key application areas. The application areas, mobility, health, energy, digital industry, and digital life will be familiar to you. And of course, all the essential capabilities need to be used as required to make a project in each application area successful. So the SRA, Strategic Research Agenda, essentially contains a lot of information about the challenges that need to be addressed in these areas. This is updated regularly, and there will be a new version in 2021, not until February, so this is for the future. We will be changing the structure a little bit to 3 main categories, so-called foundational technology layers, followed by cross-sectional technologies, and finally key application areas. This is to reflect the changing landscape that needs to be addressed as we develop our digital future. In terms of applications, they're the same, except we've added agri-food and natural resources, obviously a very important segment. There are many opportunities for networking and support in the Penta Euripides environment and getting engaged with the ECS community. First of all, there's the ECS Electronic Components and Systems Collaboration Tool. This is an online tool, essentially available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to stimulate networking, project formation, and information exchange. The Effects Conference held this week is an opportunity again for networking and discussing future projects. It includes plenary sessions, project booths, and this year sadly will be online as all conferences have to be in the current environment. We normally attract 600 or 700 attendees, and it's a major opportunity for developing those relationships that will support projects for the future. In many countries, there are webinars to give information on the funding opportunities available in each country. And always, as mentioned previously, it's important to get guidance and support from all the public authorities who you choose to engage with. Finally, in this call, there will be a brokerage event in mid-January. And always throughout the process, the office, the Euripides and Penta offices are available to give you any information that you require. The ECS collaboration tool, you need to register on it. The link will be shown later in this presentation, and you need to create a profile. It's important to create a full profile because only if you have a full profile will people be able to understand what you can provide, what you can offer to a project when they search for partners. Once you've created your profile, after registering in the system, you can create a project idea and you can invite partners to your project idea. Equally, you can look for partners who you can add with certain expertise that you require for your consortium to be fully effective. As an individual participant, you can also look for project ideas where your expertise may be useful in building their consortia, and you can always leave messages on the message board if you've got something that you would like to share with the community. Effects being carried out this week, you can still participate in if you're quick, is a major conference with plenary sessions, booths, pitches, and many opportunities for networking. It will be held over the next 2 days. And the brokerage event will provide opportunities for posters, for information on funding programs, for briefings on how to submit successful projects and other key components in collaborative activity, and the opportunity for you to pitch your ideas to the community attending. Here you can see several useful links that are available to you. Obviously, the Penta and Euripides websites have a wealth of resources and information for you to access. Within these websites is an area called the project zone. This is where you will actually submit your project and requires a registration process. And then the 3 areas of support, the Effects Conference, the ECS Collaboration Tool, and the ECS Strategic Research Agenda as a useful roadmap for you to help understand the areas of opportunity that and challenges that are in place. Thank you very much for your attention, and I very much look forward to seeing your project in the next call. Thank you again. Thank you, Remy. The 2021 Euripides and Penta joint call will actually be launched this week, with the project outline due on the 26th of February next year, followed by the full project proposal on the 28th of May. Who's it for? Essentially, any combination of large enterprise, SMEs, research and technology organizations, and academic institutions such as universities who engaged in enabling the digital economy. We all know how important the digital economy is to industry and to our private lives. And therefore, Euripides and Penta have an important role in enabling and encouraging international collaboration that will create innovation, high levels of impact and growth for all concerned. Of course, this must also include the national authorities who choose to invest in your projects. And therefore, it's important that they see a return on their investment economically and, where possible, societally as well. We do this by encouraging the formation of so-called ecosystems along the electronic components and systems, ECS, value chain. Many of you will be familiar with EUREKA clusters, and you've heard from several of them previously. But just in case, the principle behind a EUREKA cluster is that it is a public-private partnership. Industry comes up with ideas for projects, innovations, and public authorities choose to fund them. The idea being, at the end of it, there's a high level of societal and economic impact, and technology advances are made that would not have been made without public funding. Euripides and Penta are 2 independent EUREKA clusters who, however, have decided to work together because we both are involved in the ECS value chain. Penta looks at RD&I in micro and nanoelectronics enabled systems and applications, whereas Euripides focuses on packaging and integration of micro devices and smart electronic systems. By combining our resources, we believe that we provide a better opportunity for the ECS community to stimulate innovation and impact. Here is the ECS value chain. You can see at the top, typical applications, mobility, health, energy, smart industry, digital life. And of course, all the areas of the value chain that are required to make those applications happen. And so we seek to combine the application pull with the technology push and connect them along with ecosystems along the value chain, bringing together partners who bring individual expertise and capability that together will make a huge difference. What is a typical Euripides Penta project? Well, some 4 to 30 participants with 2 to 4 countries. Of course, all engaged in the Ecs value chain. And project sizes range between smaller ones at 2 million up to 30 million euros, though they can even be larger. Typical project durations are some 3 years, though again, there is some flexibility in that. You should be aware that for our call in 2021 and beyond, there will be a focus on sustainability. Of course, sustainability and climate change are critical to us all, and we feel it right that every project that we support shows how by successfully completing the project, there will be an improvement in the challenges of sustainability and climate change. We operate in many, many areas: artificial intelligence, farming, autonomous driving, and so on. Enormous ranges of technology and application. So we believe that if you are involved in the digital economy, you will find a home in the Euripides Penta environment for your innovation. We work with a lot of countries. Of course, being part of Eureka, any Eureka country can support a Penta Euripides program. And this is just a list of ones that we've worked with over the last 5 years or so. It is also possible for third-party countries outside the Eureka network to be involved, as long as 2 Eureka countries form the baseline of the partnership. The critical thing is for you to talk, your partners to talk with the countries who you wish to engage and make sure that they're willing to support you in your application for a project. Euripides and Penta have been working together, as Remy said, for some 3 years. And together we now have about 19 countries involved, more than 300 million of project cost running, with 41 active projects. You can see that as measured by financial support, we have high levels of both SME and research institute participation. Obviously, if you measure them by numbers of partners involved, those percentages are much higher. Here is the timeline. You can see that we are just approaching the launch on the 25th of November at the European Forum for Electronic Components and Systems. This will be followed by a second brokerage event in the middle of January and the PO submission 26th of February. We hope to reach funding and labeling decisions around September of 2021. So now is the time for project ideas to be turning into consortia. And so this is the consortium building element of the program is now underway. It is very important that your application gives a clear picture to the reviewers of what you're trying to do. Your project will be reviewed by both technical experts who will look at the project as a whole and make sure that they feel that it is both innovative, far-reaching and viable. And of course, it will also be looked at by the supporting countries. The problem that you're trying to solve must be crystal clear. Avoid generic statements. State clearly what you're trying to do and how you intend to move forward in that area. Show the state of the art today and how the state of the art will change thanks to your project, thanks to the uniqueness of your innovation. And show how all the partners in your program, by working together, will achieve that move in the state of the art and achieve the impact that is expected at the end of the project. That impact can be both commercial and societal, and it should be clear that all the partners will contribute to that and all will benefit. Of course, you will not receive national funding unless you match national criteria. And so, as I've mentioned before, it is vital that Each of the partners in your project talk to their funding authorities and make sure that when the project application is made, it will meet eligibility criteria and that it will demonstrate impact in the country who chooses to fund it, economically, societally, or both. I've already mentioned the importance of sustainability and climate change, and your project should be unique, should be ambitious, but should also be achievable. A little bit on the technology that is behind all Euripides and Penta programs. We use the Electronic Components and Systems Strategic Research Agenda as the backbone for our projects. This is a comprehensive document that was stimulated by 3 European industrial associations, ANEAS, Artemisia, and EPOS. They arranged for more than 250 technical experts to get together and discuss a roadmap to the future that will support the digital economy. They came up with 5 key application areas and 5 essential capabilities, all of which have significant challenges that need to be addressed if we are to move the boundaries of innovation forward and create competitive opportunities. This document is now the basis of multiple funding programs in Europe and specifically in Penta and Euripides in the Eureka environment. Here you can see the application areas along the top and the essential capabilities that need to be brought together in whatever combination is required to meet the need of those application areas. We like to see an application user represented in each one of our projects. Maybe a hospital, a car company, a power station, a factory, whatever can show and demonstrate that what has been achieved in your project can actually have the potential of transitioning to a commercial application. The strategic research agenda is always being developed. It is updated every year, and in 2021 we'll undergo a major update. Here you can see we are reorganizing it a little bit into 3 areas, so-called foundational technology areas, cross-sectional technologies required to bring those foundational areas together, and of course key application areas. You'll note that we've added 1 additional application area for the 2021 edition, agri-food and natural resources, obviously a very important area for all of us. There are many events and activities that are designed to help you find partners and work together in creating a project for our call. First of all, there's the ECS collaboration tool. This is an online tool available 24/7. More details will follow in a minute. Then there's EFECS, the conference at which we will launch this call this week. We hold country webinars where national funding authorities and Euripides and Penta can give information specific to the country involved about how to get involved in our activities. And I can only repeat again the importance of working with public authorities to gain their guidance and support. Then there will be another brokerage event in January, which you're very welcome to attend. Of course, this will again be online given the situation that we find ourselves in. And finally, throughout this whole process, the Euripides and Penta offices are there to help you. The online ECS collaboration tool provides multiple opportunities to work with partners. You can create a project idea and invite partners to participate in your project. You can also look for partners who you would like to bring into your project through the search tool, and look for project ideas if you feel you would like to join someone else's project. Finally, you can leave messages on the message board. All of this requires registration and creating a profile, and it is a very good idea to create a comprehensive profile, because in that way, if people search for you, they get a full understanding of what advantages you can bring to their consortium and their project. EFECS this week is normally a face-to-face exhibition and conference. We will be replicating that with all the capabilities that you would expect in the face-to-face conference, but of course online. There will be an exhibition, there will be plenary sessions, there will be networking opportunities, and there will be project idea posters and pitching sessions. Then in January, the ECS brokerage event will again give an opportunity for posters, information on funding support, briefing sessions, for example, on how to submit a high quality project, and another opportunity to pitch your project or your capabilities. There are many useful links that you can see on the screen. Both Penta and Euripides obviously have websites, and I and Remy and our teams are available to support you in any way that we can. The Penta Euripides project zone is the area where you will submit your project. This requires registration, and you can find links to it from both the Penta and Euripides sites. Effects is the conference that I've referred to, and here you see the link to the ECS collaboration tool. Finally, the ECS Strategic Research Agenda, which next year will become the Strategic Research and Innovation Agenda, is also available online. To complete this presentation, we would like to show you a short video on one of the projects that we have supported. This is called Olympia and is a healthcare project where technology in the area of ultrasound diagnostics compared with patches that can be fixed to your body is providing the potential of affordable and high impact medical care in hospitals and at home. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope this has been of interest. I hope you enjoy the video, and we look forward to seeing your projects in our call.
We will now conclude the 2020 Korea-Eureka On behalf of the organizers, I would like to thank everyone who has joined us today. Thank you so much for your interest and support. We hope that today's forum provided us with the opportunity to strengthen international R&D collaboration between Korea and Europe. Thank you.